Hello, we are live on WPAT Radio, 9:30 a.m. in New York. That goes out live to over, I'm excited to tell you this, 10 million homes. And we have a very, very special podcast today. I want to thank Willie Saunders and the Christian Fellowship Council for gifting us this 1 hour to talk about Dr. Khanna's Returning Youth Initiative, to talk about his birthday, to talk about the Returning Youth Day, which is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. But we say, may our youth be with us instead of incarcerated. May 4th is, as you know, Star Wars Day. To talk about his book, Returning Youth Initiative, You Belong, and to hear what some people have previously recorded to say about the Returning Youth Initiative and also Dr. Khanna and his birthday. We are now live on WPAT. If you want to listen to us on audio, it's WPAT930am.com. But if you go to YouTube, youtube.com/@returningyouth, we are also on video live there. Thank you all. And there's a lot to cover today, a lot of things to talk about. We're going to take our time. We have an hour, and we have, I think you'll really enjoy the things we have to say today. I am Gary Scarano. I am part of the initiative. We're going to hear today from a state senator, from a former New York governor, and from some other people. So please turn to your radio or at 9:30 a.m. if you're in New York, but on your YouTube at Returning Your Youth, and you'll be able to see. So anyway, the purpose of this event and this 1 hour show is to officially re-announce, because we did it last year, but we're doing it again this year, May 4th, 2023, as National Returning Youth Day, and the beginning of National Returning Youth Month, as per the National Calendar Day Organization. Now, the reason that we're doing this is we're really actually honoring Dr. Khanna's birthday. So I want to share that here. Happy birthday, Dr. Khanna. It's great to see you there. I'm going to hide and here we go, hide the controls. Happy birthday, Dr. Khanna, May 4th. I'm not going to tell you how old he is because I don't know. But hey, National Returning Month runs from tomorrow, May 4th, until June 4th. And we are recognizing, celebrating, and proclaiming this month as Returning Youth Month. And what is Returning Youth? We are returning post-incarcerated and at-risk youth back into society to lead productive lives and give back to the community. And we're doing that in a number of different ways, which we're going to get into today, and we're going to show you. But I want to say that the Returning Youth Initiative reintegrates young adults, and these young adults are going to be leading productive lives. But in the corner here, you see it's also, there's a proclamation, okay? And I want to talk about that proclamation because tomorrow starts National Returning Youth Month, May 4th to June 4th. May the 4th be with you. And let's see what that has to say. Here is the actual proclamation. We can see here, this is the 2023 version. But each year we celebrate this proclamation. And by the way, it actually is a registered event. Each day we do show, it's officially designated as Returning Youth Month, submitted by Dr. Khanna and the Returning Youth Initiative in March 2022, in accordance to the policy set forth to designate a National Observation Week, or a National Observation Day, or a National Observation Month. And it has been certified and registered at National Day Calendar. Here you go. So we're celebrating it, but we're celebrating the return of young adults back into society. And I'll tell you just truthfully, we know that the recidivism rate, the rearrest rate in this country has not significantly, practically changed really since the 1960s. So something has to be done. something has to be recognized. So Dr. Khanna's recognized this, and what he's doing is as you can see behind me, there is the United States map. I'm going to show that to you now. His goal is to be in all 50 states, but not only all 50 states, in all 3,142 counties in the United States, to address this issue, to reduce recidivism, to reach kids where they need to be reached, and also to turn the revolving door of arrest and rearrest away from the statistics that are going on in this country. Something has to be done. So that's what we're doing with the Returning Youth Initiative. And we're going to talk today also about, well, I want to talk briefly now, but we'll talk more about it yet later, is Dr. Khanna's book. He also wrote a book called The Returning Youth Initiative. You belong. That's right. You do belong. And we're going to be talking about the contents of that book during this presentation. So that is nothing more than an introduction. I want to talk about a number of different things. Again, we're live on YouTube at Returning Youth, at youtube.com/@returningyouth. Please go there and see us live. And you can visit us also at returningyouth.com. So let's go through some of the stuff. I want to talk about the launching of the National Returning Youth Day and Month. And as I'm going through this, I want to show the proclamation that I previously showed, but I want to show it again so that everybody can see what we're talking about. And there we go. And we're going to hide those. Welcome here. And so last year we initiated this as our proclamation. So each year between May 4th and June 4th, the National Returning Youth Month brings awareness. So we're going to be doing this all month long to bring awareness to young adults that are transitioning into society after incarceration, or having difficulties and are at risk to be incarcerated, to stop that pattern from happening. Really, there's really three ways to stop recidivism in this country. The first way is before it ever happens. So that's prevention. Dr. Khanna is doing that by targeting at risk. The second one we're not working on now, but we will eventually, is to in the prison. How can we properly influence young adults that when they come out, they have a desire not to commit crime and get back into the prison system? So we're going to work on that in the future. But we are also working on now the post-incarcerated. I would say 80% of our time is devoted to post-incarcerated, and 20% now is devoted to the pre-incarcerated or the at-risk youth. So that's what we're doing. And this monthly observation encourages all Americans to remove the stigma that we all have associated with those coming out of incarceration. You know, you get arrested, you get put in jail, maybe you made a mistake, maybe you did something stupid. Okay, we've all done things like that when we're young, but then it's on your record for the rest of your life. Many companies won't hire you, you don't have a job, you can't get an education. A lot of people do not want to invest in you. And that encourages this revolving door. So we have to stop that. And we have to stop that stigma that's associated. So most importantly, National Returning Youth Month will open up well-deserved dialogue to support the post-incarcerated youth. One way we do that is we have a podcast every Monday and Wednesday. It's part of the Dr. Khanna's Returning Youth Initiative. It's on YouTube, again, youtube.com/@returningyouth. It's called Sunrise Update. And what we do on Sunrise Update is we highlight either a young adult that has gone through the system and has now been successful as they're coming out, or other individuals who've done some, who are maybe older, or other organizations that are helping. So please join us Monday and Wednesday at YouTube. We also posted on our Facebook page with the Returning Youth, facebook.com/returning youth. But join us every Monday and Wednesday for our awareness this month and every month about what's going on to reduce the stigma of the arrest and rearrest of our post-incarcerated young adults in America. You know, credit for establishing the National Returning Youth Month really belongs to Dr. Khanna. He's the founder of the initiative, and his desire is to restore the hopes and dreams and return young people back to a productive life. Yet many believe that young adults in a society have limited resources that will guide them towards a successful adulthood. And a lot of people feel that way. But, you know, 11% of all teenagers and young adults in the US are faced with a lack of support and resources to become productive as citizens. Now, this is pre-incarceration. So 11% is a huge percent. According to Measure of America, 4.1 million young adults between the ages of 16 and 24 are falling behind in the US in the educational system. Now, that's a key delineator or identifier of someone who may be having issues and may eventually be incarcerated. If they drop out, or if they're doing bad, or if they get kicked out, there's not many opportunities for them. So that's an indicator of what may actually happening. So the way to address this is to offer guidance, availability of resources, provide alternative solutions to avoid future incarceration. So that's what we're doing. So May 4th is a big day. That's tomorrow, his birthday. Happy birthday, Dr. Khanna. And it is, of course, the same day we have the National Returning Youth Month begins. And incidentally, we also, many people support National Star Wars Day. Everybody says, May the 4th be with you. That's take off of the movie where they say, may the force be with you. So they say, may the 4th be with you. However, we say, may the youth be with you. Okay. May the youth be with us instead of incarcerated. And that's what we're doing during this month, and also on the sunrise every Monday and Wednesday, to open up awareness to let people know how we can save these people from being incarcerated. So Dr. Khanna is a youth advocate. He's founding Returning Youth to give post-incarcerated juveniles a road to self-sufficiency and a productive life. Hey, this is what we want to do. We want to have productive life. We want others to have productive lives when they're released from jail or if they're at risk. Let's stop the problem before it becomes a problem. Let's stop the problem before it recurs again. It's a nonprofit 501c3 charity corporation registered in the state of New York. Hey, reach out to us at returningyouth.com, returningyouth.com. You see, Dr. Khanna's vision is to listen and encourage all adults to have a productive life. His main concentration is on post-incarceration and also those who are coming out of jail, but also assisting some of those that are, as we said before, at risk, to restore their lives and be reintegrated back into society in a successful way. And this month is National Returning Youth Day, which is tomorrow, May 4th, but also National Returning Youth Month. And it's recognized and celebrated for the entire month. So let's have a good time and let's celebrate it. You know, Dr. Khanna, as a child youth advocate, came across several adults that were improperly or wrongfully treated in our judicial system. He has a history in the back, and I'm going to take a break here. I do want to talk about his book. So let's talk about Dr. Khanna's book. And here is his book. There we go. Returning Youth Initiative. You belong. The key is, yes, you belong. That's very important. Post-incarcerated people belong. Everybody desires to have a sense of belonging. We want to belong to a group. We want to belong to a school. We want to belong to a company. We want to belong to a job. We want to belong to our company. We want to belong to our friends. And there's a wonderful saying that is gone around, and you've probably heard it before. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. One of the keys is to help people belong to others who are good mentors or good role models for them, so that they are not joining with others who are being in gangs, doing things that are illegal, so that they will eventually themselves be arrested or be in jail. So I'm going to talk about his book now. It's called You Belong. And it has 8 chapters. And the first chapter is the Genes of Service, which is basically his parents and his grandparents were those that gave back to society. So he has a history of his grandparents and his parents. His father was a doctor, giving back to society significantly. So that's in the first chapter of the book, Genes of Service. And then he talks about his grandmothers and her courage, and his father. And then chapter 2 goes into awakening possibilities from the impossible. You know, a lot of people believe just dealing with post-incarcerated youth, it's impossible. I don't want to deal with it. There's too much drama. There's too many problems. Let's be honest, these things happen all the time. People have enough concern hiring people to make sure that people are doing the work without worrying about if things are being stolen or whatever. But that's the wrong attitude to have. We have to awaken the possibility that these impossible people can do great things in your company or in your life. And there's a lot of different organizations that do things like this. There are, for instance, I know of a location, and I've highlighted these on our YouTube page. I'm going to stop sharing here, where we highlight a bunch of people that are doing very interesting things. And for instance, I'm going to just Cafe Momentum. A gentleman by the name of Chad Hauser turned his restaurant over and trains young post-incarcerated juveniles. Very successful. That's on our YouTube page. We have Miles of Freedom. I love it, by Richard Miles. He also, let me show you the page here. Why don't we do that? Here you go. So I'm showing the different videos that we've actually done during the Sunrise program. So we talked about Chad Hauser, Cafe Momentum. We've talked about Richard Miles, Miles of Freedom, Bridging the Gap from Prison to Promise. Okay. We've highlighted Pivot Technologies, schools that create avenues to empower youth, creating avenues. We talked about Kenyatta Lial, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, The Last Mile, changing lives through technology, which is interesting. So he teaches incarcerated people technology, so when they come out, they have a great skill. Long Life, that's another organization. Tim Arnold of Long Life, featured on our Sunrise, where what they do is they take post-incarcerated people and put them to work, working on the lawn, he owns a lawning company. They cut the lawn, they do landscaping and other things, and they're teaching strong work ethics, business skills, and they've done this for over 700 post-incarcerated people. We also highlighted Sean Pica, who introduced a program that people can get a college degree while they are in prison. So these are just a few of the things we highlight. I just wanted to show you there. And I want to get back to Dr. Khanna's book that we were talking about. It took a little break there. And we went through chapter 1, which we spoke about, genes of service. And then chapter 2 is awakening possible from the impossible. And that's recognizing these post-incarcerated young adults. Then we talk about commercializing talent. Hey, everybody has a talent. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. If you have some type of talent, what returning youth does, Dr. Khanna does, is try to discover or highlight an existing talent that a post-incarcerated or a at-risk youth may have. So we highlight it. And then when they come out, when they're available, we try to introduce to them into a job or a career that uses those skills. So what we don't want to do is just take someone out of incarceration and have them flipping burgers, which is nothing wrong with that. If they want to, maybe they want to own a McDonald's store at one point. But if that's not what they want to do, if they want to go into landscaping, like we discussed, they want to do something technical, we will work with them and help them. We've established a number of different companies already, cleaning companies, short order cooks companies, eyeglass companies. So these are the things that we've done. And this is discussed in that chapter, which is chapter 3 of his book, You Belong, which is called Commercializing Talent. We take their talent and commercialize it. Chapter 4 talks about the post-incarcerated disease. What is that? That's the disease when you come out of jail, and sometimes it's 60 or 70% of those people who come out of jail are rearrested and back in the system in 1 year. That's a disease. That's a disease that has to be fixed somehow. So we're working on it through the Returning Youth Initiative to find ways to stop that disease, nip it in the bud, by addressing post-incarcerated and pre-incarcerated people, and to find their skills to release the impossible. Chapter 5 talks about the Juvenile Justice Reformation Act. That was originally done in the 1960s. It was rewritten and reworked considerably in 2018, and it provides revenue monies to the every state to address this issue. But there's a lot that can be done to improve it. And Dr. Khanna is looking at that, ways that we can address the issue. Chapter 6, nobody likes a juvenile. You know, when you're young, we all understand that young people, some of them have issues. We shouldn't have a prejudice in mind that we say, hey, I don't like a person because you were in jail. I don't like your person because you were in a juvenile detention center. We should never have that prejudice. Nobody likes a young person. We all appreciate the talents and the values that they can give to society, and also transformation. And this is what the Returning Youth Organization is all about. We want to transfer these at-risk youth, post-incarcerated youth, to valuable citizens contributing to society, but most importantly, contributing to themselves. So they're doing something they love, right? Okay, nothing wrong with that. And they're making a living doing that. By the way, this book is available on Amazon. You can go right there, but also you can click on it, and there's a link on our website, returningyouth.com, returningyouth.com. So chapter 7 is transformation. And then chapter 8 is the path to solution. Okay, how are we going to solve the issue of post-incarceration specifically? Okay, and I want to talk about that because there are certain programs that Dr. Khanna has put in place in his organization. So I'm going to share his website now. Let's take a look at that. Here is the Returning Youth website. And as you can see, here's the map. So I want to look at the programs because there's really 4 different programs that Dr. Khanna has put in place so that we can address the issue of recidivism. The first is a safe haven. We have one here in Florida. in Daytona Beach, which is the most famous beach in the world. Come on down, enjoy the sun and the waves. And it's a community center that we've created here. It's in Montana and other places. It's also in Gary, Indiana. It's a community center created exclusively for young adults, regardless of incarceration status, to allow for a safe place to socialize, learn, be educated, perhaps sign into our program, give back to the community. We also are going to have homes of hope. These are transitional homes that when people come out of incarceration, they can be put in a transitional home, in a facility to provide post-incarcerated individuals safe, caring, structured environment, give them life skills, transportation to the job, give them a job, teach them about how to manage finances, how to keep a neat home, how to make your bed, all things that are important for life. One of the key things, and Dr. Khanna is calling me right now. Let's see. Dr. Khanna, we're on the air. How are you? I will email you. This is a great privilege. So excited. I'm going to email you the link, and you can join us. I'll send you the phone. No, that's okay. No, that's fine. I'll send you the phone number, and you. Yes. Okay. Well, you know what? Want me to just put you on speaker? No, that won't work. That won't work. Okay, I'll give you the number. Okay, well, that's pretty exciting. We're going to be inviting Dr. Khanna. I'm very happy that he's joining us. Let's see if I can find him. So we were talking about the Returning Youth, his book, and this is what happens when you go live. Okay, you just you find some fun things. So just give me a second while I need to send him the phone number so that he can dial in to our account live, and we're going to hear directly from him. Okay, so the only way I can send it to him is email. So give me a second while I find that. There it is. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for bearing with me as I invite Dr. Surajit Khanna to this meeting. He's going to be on just verbally. He's not able to join with us live on the video, but that's fine because we're going through a lot of different things. So we just finished talking about his book. By the way, we're live on WPAT 9:30 a.m. You can join us on video at www.wpat930am.com. But we're also live on YouTube. You can see our wonderful faces here. Go to youtube.com/@returningyouth, and we're live there on the video right there. I'm very happy to say that, and we're just waiting for Dr. Khanna to join. So I'm going to just continue talking until he gets here. You know, he founded Returning Youth in New York, okay, with a desire to go to all 3,142 counties in the United States. So it's a big job that we're all joining in. But I want to highlight a verse from the Bible. Psalms 82:3 says, "Defend the poor, the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and to the needy." So who's afflicted? Post-incarcerated are afflicted. We should be doing justice to them. Okay. And we can do that in a number of different ways. So I'm excited that we can talk about this. And we'll see what if I can. I think I may have a different way for Dr. Khanna to join us. It might be interesting to find that. Yeah, here it is. I think we can do it that way. This might be fun. So I'm going to go live. I'm going to put him on. I'm going to put him on speakerphone because I think that'll be fine. It'll be a fine way of getting this done. So just bear with me as we do this.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, you there? I don't know if you listened to us. We've gone through certain things. I'm excited that I want to introduce the founder of the Returning Youth Initiative, Dr. Surajit Khanna. Tomorrow's a special day. What's tomorrow, Dr. Khanna?
Tomorrow is the National Returning Youth Day and the first day of the Returning Youth Month that was proclaimed last year from May 4th to June 4th. I think that's all I know. Plus, it is a National Star Wars Day.
Yes.
So May the 4th for you, something they say, right?
May the 4th be with you. But more important, well, you may not agree with me, but more important, it's your birthday. So happy birthday, Dr. Khanna.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize it was my birthday too. Okay. Well,
I know.
Thanks for reminding me. A lot of people are born on the May.
Yes,
so
like me.
Youth like myself and you, we are in May.
Yes. And
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I know it was a very short call. I'm actually traveling. That's why I have a very limited time, but I really appreciate the honor of having me here and addressing all the audience that's listening to this radio show. And especially thanks to Gary and Willie, who actually is the, and I don't know, you have a guest, I believe, who is representing or talking.
I couldn't get a guest today, but I do have I have some videos from the past that I can show. So, Senator Muse, I can show him. I can show the governor from New York. I've saved those, and I'm going to show a couple of them. But more important than that,
excellent.
I love hearing from you. In the Returning Youth Month that we talked about 2023. By the way, they did post it on Facebook. Okay, Dr. Khanna. So the Returning Youth Organization, the National Day calendar, they did post the National Returning Youth Month, and I shared it on our Facebook page. So
excellent.
That
excellent.
was good. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, well, the only thing I want to say that the audience, that please let us work together to give these young adults, especially those are post-incarcerated young adults between the age of 18 and 30, so that we can give a better platform so that they can thrive in their life. We don't want them to be wandering around and be hopeless because of today's economic situation, political situation, and social situation. We understand there's a big challenge for these young adults, but let us work together as an adult so that we can give them a platform. We can give them an ear so that we can listen to them, because that is what they need. These young adults, they don't need lectures. They don't need advisors. All they need is to hold their hand and tell the boat and show them around, because they have talent. These post-incarcerated young adults, those who are coming from jail or those who are already out in jail and struggling. They have wonderful talents in their respective fields. Let us try to understand them. Let us try to give a platform so that they can thrive with their trade and be a worker, good employee, or even a good entrepreneur. This is what this Returning Youth Initiative was founded for, and this is what we are going to every state. We're going to 3,142 counties in United States. If you guys don't know that in this country of United States, we have 3,142 counties. All we want to have at least one young adult, especially the post-incarcerated young adults, those who are out struggling or those who are on the way to coming out of the jail. Let us give them the platform. And Gary, I know that you are showing the audience, telling everybody how to reach out to Returning Youth Initiative. This is the organization. They can reach out through their website, email, phone numbers. Let us do it. Let us make this happen, especially this month, May 4th to June 4th, which is starting tomorrow. Let us strive to identify those and give them a platform. Show them, tell them that life is for making to work and be successful. We get one lifetime to make this happen. Let's not waste it, because the Bible talks about it, that life has a purpose. God has sent us for a purpose. What is the purpose? We need to understand that. What is the purpose?
Well,
So,
it's funny.
again,
It's funny you should say that, Dr. Khanna. I just read that verse in the Bible. It says from Psalms, it says, do justice to the afflicted and to the needy. So that's exactly what you're just saying.
Excellent. Again, thank you very much, my dear audience, those who are listening to this or those who will be listening to the live video after it gets posted. That's my only message I want to give to everybody, that please help us so that we can work together. I cannot do all by myself. The team of Returning Youth Initiative organization cannot do by themselves. We need all of your support. So please reach out to us. Let us work together and give them a platform. Again, thank you very much, Gary. Anything you want to ask?
Well, I've gone through your whole book. By the way, we reviewed your book. You want to talk briefly about You Belong? I gave a review for it, but if you want to give a couple of seconds about it, that might be interesting.
Well, there is a book, that was published last year during this time, called Returning Youth Initiative, You Belong. That actually gives the drive why I started or I got motivated to this, to found this initiative. So if you guys want to read more about it, you can go to Amazon or you can go to the website. You can get that book. Again, the purpose of the book is to show that every individual, especially post-incarcerated young adults, they belong somewhere. Because like I said, that the scriptures talks about it. Every scripture, not only the Bible, every scripture, whatever you follow, they talk about that life is very precious and life has to be given proper priority, because there is a purpose when we are born here. So God has sent us with a purpose, and that purpose is to serve the mankind. So you can read this book. I'm glad Gary is hosting this show today. I am really grateful to both Gary and Willie and the National Calendars team, and the entire team of Returning Youth Initiative, wherever we are working. I really want to thank that let us continue this. Every year should be, not only every year, every month should be Returning Youth Month. Why to celebrate only 1 month? Every year should be Returning Youth Month, because we need to give all these young adults a platform. Again, thank you. God bless.
Thank
See
you,
you
Dr.
all
Khanna.
tomorrow, and thank you for wishing me happy birthday.
Happy birthday, and we're going to continue for the show. By the way, we are live, Dr. Khanna, now on YouTube. Just go to YouTube at Returning Youth, and you can see us live. So thank you, Dr. Khanna. I'll continue. We've got about 20 more minutes, 17 minutes left, and I've got plenty to cover. Okay, well, he's left. So thank you. That was fun having that. That's what happens with live TV. The key to understand God's purpose, we left off when I read that verse: defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy. The key into understanding God's purpose for our life is God has numbered our days, and he has a purpose for each and every one of us. And what Returning Youth is attempting to do is find the purpose of these young people to help them see what they already know. And as you know, we're on a mission to implement this to all 3,142 counties. Please, returningyouth.com, visit us there. returningyouth.com, visit us there. And I have a few people that I kind of want to highlight to you. I'm going to play a video and let it run for a while, and I'm going to be skipping at different places that are talking about, these are pre-recorded, talking about Returning Youth month and day. And here we go. Isn't it about time we stop the revolving door of arrest and re-arrest in underserved communities? I am Gary Scarano, and it is an honor and a privilege to speak to all of you. Has more incarcerated individuals compared to any other country in the world. In addition, the U.S. has one of the highest recidivism or rearrest rates. According to the National Institute of Justice, almost 44% of criminals released, that's almost half, return before the first year out of prison. And 77% return or rearrested within 5 years. Furthermore, the pandemic has made it more difficult for youth to receive fair treatment in the justice system. Congress enacted the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act in 1974, JJDP. In 2018, the act was reauthorized and substantially amended and renamed the Juvenile Justice Reformation Act, JJRA. This act was put in place to provide support to vulnerable youth and was designed to implement protection in 3 important areas. Number 1, to reduce crime. Number 2, to protect juveniles while incarcerated. And number 3, to return post-incarcerated youth back into society with various re-entry programs. However, America has not shown a significant improvement in the recidivism rate, especially those in the African American and Latinx underserved communities. With a solution in mind, Dr. Surajit Khanna founded the Post-Incarcerated Juvenile Justice Reformation Act Initiative, which we call in short the Returning Youth Initiative. It is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization to restore the lives of post-incarcerated young adults.
Hello, and I am honored to be here to support this wonderful initiative. I'm Bishop C. Anthony Muse. I'm the presiding bishop of the Ark United Christian Community Churches International, where I oversee 272 wonderful congregations. I am also a former Maryland State Senator.
And I want to point out that Bishop Anthony Muse is not a former senator anymore, but he won election uncontested.
And I am here to support.
He is now a Florida senator and a bishop over over 270 churches. So it's a great privilege that we have Bishop Anthony Muse giving this message before his election, before he won. Thank you. Let's listen.
This great initiative. I am honored to introduce the founder of Return.
All right, so that's what I want to share from Dr. Anthony Muse. We're excited about him. Thank you for him. And I'm going to skip on that video ahead a little bit. We're going to get to Perry Gaffney, and I'm going to show her. So let's do that. She's going to talk about the initiative.
Society. I'm sure you would agree this is more than a worthwhile effort and ministry.
The initiative concentrates on 3 key areas. 1, a safe haven, where post-incarcerated young adults will have a judgment-free, supportive place to meet, socialize, learn, and create a partnership with their community and us. This gives them the opportunity to advance their life skills, participate in educational courses, attend motivational programs, receive job placement assistance, and mentorship for growth in various areas. 2, it's a home of hope, where post-incarcerated young adults are provided with room and board, life skills development, medical and psychological evaluations, legal assessments, education and trade skills evaluation, and additional programs that assist in providing the building blocks necessary to have a self-sustaining life. And 3, partnership and career development. The Returning Youth Initiative started implementing a nationwide franchise system, providing multiple career and entrepreneur ownership opportunities across various franchise companies, vision center, barbershop, cleaning services, florist shops, restaurants, etc. Ravalli County in Montana has established a safe haven in Hamilton, Montana.
So I'm going to move forward here to a little further and in this video. And here we go.
Maryland, New York, and Washington, D.C. We know there are many governments and nonprofit organizations ready to work alongside with us on these issues, both locally and nationwide. How are we different, and what makes us different?
What sets Dr. Khanna's initiative apart? Our integrated approach from start to finish and beyond that provides love and care to our post-incarcerated members. We provide full-time employment and create jobs. We provide comprehensive medical and psychological treatment. We set them up for success in achieving their dreams, and we are self-sustaining, self-funding. We are working to have our presence in all 3,142 U.S. counties based upon the desires and needs of the post-incarcerated youth. We will also set up various businesses. And here is our founder, Dr. Surajit Khanna.
So I'm going to skip ahead again here to go, and I want to hear from former state governor David Paterson, 1332.
Criminal Justice Reform Act of 1974, 60s, and the decision in the state Supreme Court that was upheld in the State Court of Appeals was that prisons do not reform anybody, even though one of the essential aspects to be for reformation, change them so they would never even think about doing it again. And the reformation part has largely been left out. 1970, the prison population in New York State was 12,385 people. By 1992, there were 72,490 people incarcerated in the New York State prison system. So programs such as the one that you have founded and how you've replicated as far away from our area as Montana is really a breath of fresh air, because I don't think it takes that much, as you put it, a holistic approach where you deal with the socialization of the prisoners, and finally, the fact that they still deserve the dignity as a human being because they did pay their debt to society. So Doctor, congratulations.
And Dr. Khanna, one of my biggest issues, and I've worked in all different types of community. The access to resources is probably the biggest gap that I find, but inherently our funding formulas, our mechanisms is not in fact equitable. We have created an illusion of equity and that every child has had the opportunity, but our very structure minimizes opportunities for these kids, particularly in our challenged communities and our underserved communities.
My name is Tom Sasson, and I'm a practicing attorney in New York. I have seen in my practice the debilitating effects on young adults, their families and friends, once the stigma of arrest and rearrest has been assigned to them. I have seen the difficulty that they have in securing jobs and becoming self-sufficient. It seems to many of them that the world is against them, and a life of crime seems the only choice. That I support Dr. Surajit Khanna's Returning Youth Initiative. I believe this program and others like it will reduce recidivism and help these young people get back into society. It is for this reason that I joined as a county manager for Rockland County, New York. Thank you, and God bless.
Please, I want to say thank you. We covered a lot today, and we've got about 6 minutes left to talk. I'm so happy. You can see there was relatively significant people that were highlighted on Oprah Winfrey, former state governor of New York, an existing state senator in Maryland, bishop of over 271 churches, I believe that was the number, actress Perry Gaffney. And by the way, she was so professional. I wish she could do this better than me. So that's why you get professionals to do things. And attorney Thomas Sasson from New York. So we've had some significant people and others on the show to talk to us about various different things. And we've had success in people recognizing what we're attempting to do. And what we're attempting to do is to reduce recidivism rate in this very simple form. And we're going to do that by, and again, I want to go back to our website, which is returningyouth.com, and show that to you before we leave. We just got a couple of minutes left here. So let's show you our website. Please go there. You could always contact us on the contact form that we have there. And we have events. We talk about us. There's famous Perry. She's amazing. We have other videos. Here's the book we talked about, how to order it. I strongly suggest it. Here's the phone numbers and the websites you can get to. My email is gary@returningyouth.com. Relatively interesting. We talked about our members. We talked about our programs. Perry talked about this. I want to highlight this before we leave: career and entrepreneurship. Again, we've talked about discovering, uncovering the talents of these post-incarcerated and at-risk youth that they already have, so, and develop them. We want to turn them into an opportunity for them to own a business, their own business. Of course, we're not going to just give them business ownership away, but they have to work towards it. They could be working for us as a contractor where we pay into a company, or it could be a national franchise system providing multiple careers. We have vision centers, barbershops, cleaning, flower shop, restaurants, whatever it is, to give opportunities. And this is the way that we're going to be self-funding by providing ownership into these companies. The initiative will have partial ownership of these companies so that we can self-fund ourselves. Listen, let's be honest. So many nonprofits spend an inordinate amount of time raising funds. And what we want to do here is we don't want to be doing that. We want to spend our time addressing the issue of young adults at risk and post-incarcerated. And finally, I want to talk about the bridge of faith. You know, whatever the religion, we're open to all different religions, but there are many churches and other religions that have existing programs dealing with the post-incarcerated or the juveniles. For instance, there are many organizations out there that have halfway houses or programs for juveniles, but they age out at 18. These organizations are a phenomenal opportunity to us that they could feed into the returning youth, that we could take these young kids after they go through our intake form, and we can then put them to work. And we can just have a very soft transfer from these organizations to us. So if you know of an organization that has post-incarcerated people or at-risk people, male and female, that are going to be aging out at 18, please contact us, because our primary target market is post-incarcerated from 18 to 30. So we'll pick up the slack there. And also, we will also consider those 16 to 30 if they are pre-incarcerated or at risk. So these are the things that we do with the Bridge of Faith. And here's a number of different churches that Dr. Khanna spoke at, and where we talk about having this opportunity. So, wow, we covered a lot today. Please join us on every Monday and Wednesday on Sunrise. We're live now at youtube.com/returningyouth. But we also have Sunrise there every Monday and Wednesday morning. Find out about us. Contact us if you know of any post-incarcerated youth. Contact us if you have an organization that has young kids that are aging out. Contact us if you want to volunteer, if you want to help us in any way, because we do need help. We have a very large opportunity, the United States, and we want to be able to reach the whole country and reduce the recidivism rate. I want to say thank you to Dr. Khanna and happy birthday. Hey, I'm going to sing happy birthday after we hang up in 5 seconds, but thank you, Dr. Khanna.